Your opening contest scheduled for one fall is for the New Texas Pro Championship.
Much like Wyatt Earp strolling into the OK Corral. Thank you for joining us for New Texas Pro presents Elijah. My name is Biss. I will be joined by Sammy Kiss in the booth after he's finished handling the announcing duties. Stallion Rogers, brought to you here today, sponsored by Armando Armida. And we are starting with an absolute banger, folks. This card is absolutely stacked. He is the New Texas Pro Heavyweight Champion. He is Bryan Keith. He is Swisher House sponsored, and today he is brought to you by Heel Pop and Chair Shots. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness an absolute shootout. This is the Sheriff and the Outlaw, folks. They're meeting in the middle of town square.
The following contest is for the New Texas Pro Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. He is the Lone Star, Stallion Rogers. And his opponent, he is the Bounty Hunter. He is the Underground King. He is the New Texas Pro Champion, Bryan Keith.
And he will absolutely have a home field advantage here tonight. Much like Elijah himself in Houston. Sammy Kiss returns to the booth. Sammy, we are in for just an absolute banger. I hate to appropriate that word, but just insane to have these two athletes standing across the ring from each other.
I mean, Bryan Keith, the current New Texas Pro Heavyweight Champion, has been on a stroll unlike anything I've seen in recent memory. Who can forget that time limit draw he had with Mike Bennett, and of course, the Texas Super Fight, where Bryan Keith won the New Texas Pro Championship from Mysterious Q, ending his historic reign, and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down here in this first-time matchup. Bryan Keith defends that championship against Stallion Rogers.
Absolutely. Check all those matches out on IWTV. We are about to witness a strong style spaghetti western here, Sammy. It is going down.
It's going to be something that's sponsored by, of course, Heels Pops and Chair Shots podcast. I mean, I know that Stallion Rogers made a big name for himself on maybe a bit of a bigger stage, has a bit of a chip on his shoulder here, now challenging for the first time in New Texas Pro, and he could make one hell of a debut here, Biss, capturing the New Texas Pro Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, absolutely. Stallion Rogers, of course, from originally from Amarillo. Bryan Keith from the Houston area. You can't get very much further apart and still be in Texas. To me, at the core, this is just two Texas boys going at it. There's always just something special when you have that going on. There's a lot of pride in this state, obviously.
Well, of course, speaking for myself, Sammy Kiss, out of New Orleans, Louisiana, one of the things that brought me here to New Texas Pro was talents like the current champion, Bryan Keith, making waves all over Texas. Like you said, Texas is a really big place, and it says something. The New Texas Pro is making so many waves here in the state of Texas with Texas wrestling.
Gets a clean break here. Cut the tension. Look at the intensity between the two. Like you said, a huge state. For my money, one of the hottest territories going right now. Stick around with us. This card will show you exactly. If you are a New Texas fan, you know exactly how stacked this card is. If this is your first time checking out New Texas Pro, this card is an absolute great representation of the great things happening down here in Texas and in the South right now.
Even this aggressive waistlock, standing switch from Stallion Rogers. Kicking things off in a big way here on IWTV with the New Texas Pro Heavyweight Championship.
What you have here is two very intense competitors.
Nice takedown from Rogers. The Lone Star, Captain Texas, let's call himself.
He may have big matchups up in Chicago. He may have big matchups all over the country. But at his heart, he's still a kid from Amarillo.
You see that crowd here in New Texas Pro here at the Houston Premier Center. They do not care for that lack of respect that Stallion Rogers is showing our champion.
Well, that's Stallion Rogers. That's how he's been since day one. That's what makes him him, if you ask me.
Now Stallion looking maybe a test of strength. I don't know if that's a smart route to go. With Bryan Keith, our champion is deceptively strong.
It is very interesting to me how cautious they are of each other right now.
I mean, they're both very evenly matched. I mean, Stallion Rogers weighs in at 190 pounds. Our champion, Bryan Keith, 200 pounds. But even that 10-pound weight difference makes a lot. You can see Bryan Keith has never been in better shape. He's in the best condition of his life.
The difference is going to be in the strikes, I think. And I think both man thinks that they have the better. So I think we're absolutely going to see a firefight.
You saw that Bryan Keith made contact with one of those stiff kicks, and Stallion Rogers immediately changes his game plan. Bryan Keith, a fan of that strong style, bringing it here to New Texas Pro.
It's not going to take long for somebody to take advantage of this.
Oh, a knife-edge shot echoing through the arena here. Now a sit-down Stallion challenging Bryan Keith.
Come on, man.
To return the favor here.
Yep.
Be careful what you wish for,
take
Stallion.
5 paces, turn around. Let it fly. They're going to be playing with live rounds here tonight.
Bryan Keith is always playing with live rounds. Oh, and looks like that lit a fire, and Stallion will return fire again from Keith.
You got to shoot out, folks. Oh my God. That feeling out process didn't take long.
Back and forth we go. You can already see their chest discoloring.
Yep, right here. Both men thinks they have the better strikes. Both men's going to bet on their strikes.
Blow for blow for blow here.
These are two of the toughest men too. They could go all damn night.
We might be here all night if these two go like this the whole time. But we know that everything is on
wow.
the line.
Wow, watch out. Right across the knee. is that an early tell on strategy? Is Stallion Rogers is going to focus on the net?
Well, if Stallion Rogers is the competitor that I know he is, hitting that buck off, and now is going to focus all of his attack using on the face, neck, relentless offense.
Yeah, just drove the forearm right in the throat and then the knee right to the side of the head, into the neck, and a drop kick right to the mush.
Now Stallion maybe wasting some time trying to get this crowd on his side. Needs to stay focused, stay in offense, and stomping the feet of the champion into a DDT. 2 count.
You have to give him credit. A lot of people, when they go to the heights that he's been to, they change their game. They try to fit in where they are.
Well, I know it's something about when people think that they achieve all the success that they ever dreamed of, then suddenly that success is taken away before they even really get to capitalize on it. The amount of pressure and the amount of aggression sitting in the mind of Stallion Rogers might be unfathomable here, and he's taking out all that aggression on our champion, Bryan Keith. The Lone Star, in his debut at New Texas Pro, has turned out this capacity crowd here. Sharp forearm right to the face of Bryan Keith.
To go back, it was a neck breaker. The neck breaker really turned the tide here. He's been in control since then.
Don't count out Bryan Keith. If there's any man in New Texas Pro, there you saw that was the fire of Bryan Keith. And then that second shot finally took him down.
And that may be a weakness in his game, honestly. That's something I've seen a few times in his matches. That bravado, that ego, when he gets striked to fire right back up, he leaves himself open for a secondary strike like that.
I got to ask you this, if you're Bryan Keith, your last few championship matches, last few main events here at New Texas Pro, going up against the man likes a mysterious Q with that record reigning championship title reign. Down goes Keith into a cover here. Finds a 2 count. If you're Keith, battling guys like Mysterious Q, battling guys with the notoriety of Davey Richards and Mike Bennett, does the strategy have to change now with someone like Stallion Rogers, who so far has been more unproven than the last few competitors that Bryan Keith has been in the ring with?
I don't necessarily think so. You tap into a lot of the same things, but you have to be aware that there are lows that Stallion Rogers will stoop to that those other two have not and would not. So you got to know who you're in there with. But I think Bryan Keith's toughness has gotten him a long way. I think it's what draws people to him. He is able to take a lot of punishment and keep moving forward, keep throwing those strikes that he's known for. I think he really kind of bet on that and tap into that.
And a smart strategy by the champion, rolling to the outside, but here comes Stallion! Tope Suicida takes the champion down.
And that's, I'm gonna address it. When Stallion Rogers was coming up, it was in Texas. I was a promoter when that was happening. He was a well-known name at that time. There was a reluctance to put him in the ring with the stars of my company at the time, people like Ricky Starks and Sammy Guevara, because he is a loose cannon, if you will. He's a very dangerous competitor.
On Bryan Keith, hits a DDT, the front row seat at ringside.
I will absolutely tell you, if Stallion Rogers has a chance, if taking out Bryan Keith's knee wins him this title and makes him more money, he's going to do it. Bryan's got to stay on top of him. He's got to be aware of that.
So the referee checking in on the Lone Star, making sure he can still continue in this epic championship match. So the new Texas Pro title's on the line. Both men have got to get back in the ring, though, Biss.
It's a great job by the referee, but I don't think either of these guys are going to submit. Neither of these guys are going to walk out of here and lose because they said, I don't want to. These guys are going to give it everything they've got.
You'd hate for a championship match like this to end on a count out. Bryan Keith makes sure that does not happen, rolls into the ring. But Stallion is out on the outside. Now, wait a minute.
Out. Stirring up there. No.
Oh,
his knee gave out.
We're going to get a count out victory for Bryan Keith. Oh, at the very last possible second, Stallion Rogers rolls into the ring. This epic will continue. This classic.
Keith should jump on him right now if he can. He's hurt.
Bryan Keith has the challenger measured.
Oh, he might be out. Big exploder.
Underground King turns Stallion inside out. Looks to maybe hit another one.
Very nice, very nice.
Oh,
Bridge.
cover. I'm not sure. I mean, it looked like Stallion's shoulder might have been up there. We'll never know. Got a 2 count. Another cover.
Only 2.
He's
got him reeling right now. He needs to stay on top of him.
In an effort to keep up that momentum, Bryan Keith with that near leg cover, draping cover, maybe should put more pressure on Stallion Rogers. Only got a 2, but the momentum has finally shifted back into the champion's favor. And as we all know, when Bryan Keith is on top, there's few men that can know how to stop him. He's gonna go for that pile driver. Stallion was going for like a jackknife cover. Hooks him up. Bryan Keith rolls through.
Big double stomp. That pile driver is going to be extremely hard on Stallion Rogers, seeing as he's a lengthier competitor than Bryan Keith.
Stallion up top.
Big splash, got all of it. Right in the center of the ring.
Oh! 2 3/4. And Stallion Rogers cannot believe it.
These two are cut from the same cloth. A guy like Stallion Rogers is, I know back in the day, he was not ashamed to admit his favorite wrestler was Shibata. And Bryan Keith a little bit more of an all-Japan style guy. These guys watch their tape for sure.
Me and Bryan Keith discussed Kawada, Misawa, Kenta Kobashi at length all the time. And these two bringing that Japanese strong style here to Texas wrestling on full display here in the center in Houston, Texas.
Just firing back and forth. I'll tell you what, I know over there it's tournament season right now. I shot Bryan Keith a match, said, hey, check this out. He said, I already watched it. Check these 3 out from the same show. Amazing, you know?
Standing enziguri.
He's out on his feet.
Double underhook. Trying to leverage up Stallion. Couldn't get it. Another. Standing switch. Got a meeting of the minds there. Now both men all staggered on their feet. Neither man goes down, and there's another headbutt from Stallion.
Oh, man. Caught him with the back of his head, too. That's just that.
Oh.
Wow.
Great ring awareness from our champion.
And
Gets his foot on the middle rope.
That's that. I mean, I hate to use the word recklessness of Stallion Rogers. To just launch the back of his head into the other man's head. Like, gotta put a guy out.
That's the lengths that Stallion will go to capture the new Texas Pro Championship.
Big knee. He put Davey Richards out with that.
Stallion goes up and then he goes down. That's got to be it.
Oh,
he gets out of one.
Spikes him. Fold him up.
Got him.
Got him.
Here is your winner and still new Texas Pro Champion, Bryan Keith.
Absolutely phenomenal, Sammy. Absolutely an incredible matchup. In par with the rest of his reign. Bryan Keith is going to be the new Texas Pro Champion for a very long time, I feel.
I mean, talk about momentum. Again and again and again, Bryan Keith proves his doubters wrong. Another huge victory for Bryan Keith. Still your new Texas Pro Champion.
And I had my doubts if he would be able to get the lengthier man up. He spiked him right in the middle of the ring. Absolutely, that's what makes him a champion.
I mean, Bryan Keith, whether it's Mike Bennett, whether it's Davey Richards, whether it's Mysterious Q, whether it's tonight against Stallion Rogers, Bryan Keith has earned the nickname of being the Underground King. Now, what is this?
Well, hello there, Bryan. It's yours truly, the intergalactic soul, the elder brother, revolutionary himself, Darius Malcolm. So first of all, I want to say congratulations on retaining the new Texas Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. I want to let you know, Bryan, that with or without that title, that you are still everything that you are. But I want to draw emphasis on that without part, because soon that's exactly how you'll find yourself. This is the last time the bounty hunter Bryan Keith was scheduled to go one-on-one with Revolutionary Darius Lockhart. There were unforeseen circumstances that didn't allow that to happen. It was the time before that. I ended up getting a victory over you, Bryan. And unless something you remember, because I know it was definitely a night I didn't forget. It was a night that confirmed to me that I could hang with the best that Texas had to offer. But this time, I'm able to do it again and walk away with the new Texas Pro heavyweight title. And I showed that I am the best Texas has to offer. There's an expression I like to use, that you know what I like to say. When we stand together, what time is it? It's nation time. What's going to happen is this name is going to change hands. I'm asking you, I'm asking New Texas, I'm asking the people of Texas, what's going to happen when the Texas Championship changes hands? What's going to happen when y'all find yourselves in New York? We're bringing Texas into a new direction. When we go all out, it goes to all of you. And it all starts with you and I.
There you heard the challenge. No rest for the wicked here in New Texas Pro. Do we have our next challenger for Bryan Keith Championship?
Absolutely, and Darius Lockhart could be a man that could present a very unique challenge.